Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. 152 billion. We officially hit the 150 billion mark. It's a very big milestone. 200 billion incoming. There really isn't a ceiling for where we can hit this Christmas. I just, oh yeah, shout out to Parker. You did such a great job, buddy. I'm gonna keep that as the intro. Thank you, and thank you to everybody who thinks of me in that type of way enough to actually make something for me. Very thoughtful, very touching, and I get all these emails. I get a lot of love, and it makes me want to, because I know there's a lot of good in this world, and I see it's on such a slippery slope. And I know I keep coming back to this topic of recently, but it's just with all the things going on in the United States and what's about to happen in my eyes, I just see a lot of people who might not be prepared. And this is it, man. This is like the breaking point. This is where we really need to strap down. It makes me want to viciously just teach everybody how to make money. That's really the key. Is money, is wealth, is it's not money, it's not wealth, it's value. That's all it is. We just need more value in the hands of the people. We need to create more value. So when a Walmart comes in and destroys the whole city because it takes out all the local businesses, and then everyone's forced to go to Walmart and work for Walmart, that's because no one's able to provide enough value on the outside. Because what happens is the powers that be, the high, the ones with a lot of power in this world, they like to separate people. They don't want people to unite. They want people to be separated. Because when you're together, think about it, man. It's like we're all on this planet. Like everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants the same thing. And there's abundance of it everywhere. There's enough land. There's enough food. They just want you to think there's enough food. Why isn't there enough food? Because we're building cities. We're destroying crop fields. We're destroying all this stuff for cities. Who voted in all these cities? Think about that. When was the last time you got the vote whether you wanted a giant metropolis in your fucking town or not? Like, it just happens because that's the way they want it. They want to carve all the resources out of the land, make it a cement jungle, and make you live there in poverty and toxic fumes. If you go look at where the Rockefellers live, if you go look at where all these big name people are, they're not living in the middle of these cities that are filled with toxic cars. They're in a fucking mountain somewhere in some underground fucking palace with their own crop fields and their own genetically modified foods. I've seen the documentaries. I've done the researches. These dudes own farms. They don't touch the food that the fucking mainstream touches. They wouldn't do it because why? They know. So, man, if you want to really create value in this world, I'm going to be real. You're going to have to get out there and you're going to have to make some kind of content. That's just, I realize that, man. I realize that no matter what, you have to create some content. It doesn't matter how good you are. You don't have to be good at all, right? Because, when I first started, I was just going out everywhere, man. I was trying everything. A lot of people might not even realize it's just like, I'm going to fast forward. I had a pretty hard life, but I'm going to a lot of, my life is a cakewalk compared to a lot of people. So I'm not bitching, but I'm just going to fast forward through, a big segment of my life that was really shitty. And then after that shittiness, I'm going to fast forward to about 4 years ago to give you a perspective. So, I moved to Costa Rica to buy a house to play poker because poker was taken away, Black Friday, 2011, April 15th. And the government passed a law saying that it was overnight. All my funds were frozen. All my money was gone. And basically, I moved to Costa Rica. I couldn't move right away when it happened in 2011. I had to wait 4 years. Those 4 years were the darkest years of my life. But I'll move aside that. But basically, I had landed in Costa Rica, bought a house, moved my dogs there. The house was fine, but the land had a lien on it. And basically, I had lost all my money like a fucking sucker. To get my dogs there cost $5,000. I couldn't afford rent. I was about to basically be homeless in Costa Rica. I had to give away my dogs. I had to pay someone to take my dogs. With my last $500, I had enough for a plane ticket. And that's how, see, man, I was like, man, and the only reason I didn't go homeless was because it's like, man, I couldn't feed the dogs. Like, I can't, these dogs need a home. They're rambunctious. There's 3 big dogs, 3 big half pits. You know, it cost $5 to get them there. These are my family dogs. My brother ended up going to prison. My mom's older. She couldn't watch them. If, you know, I just took on the responsibility. And whenever you take on responsibility for something, in my eyes, you have to see it through. So I went there and I tried to do it, and I failed. And I had to pay my realtor, who luckily, you know, I'm real good at picking up vibes. In the time I was there, it was about 6-7 months in one place in Costa Rica, about 6-7 months in another place in Costa Rica, Jaco and Estrella Oeste. Well, anyway, I didn't know anyone in Costa Rica for what it's worth when I moved there, and I didn't even speak Spanish. Yeah, I'm crazy, but so that happened. I had to fucking pay this dude to take my dogs, man, and that was the saddest moment. That was one of the saddest moments of my life, to give my dogs away and walk away and like hear them howling and knowing like, man, that was tough. And I was broke. I was out of there. I had nothing. I was like 300 pounds. I was overweight. It was like fucking at the end of just like the shittiest journey. And then I had moved to Mexico because my friend had a job opportunity for me to help him with a poker website. And I had got there, and like I remember I was they had Thanksgiving. He already had plans with his family and his girlfriend and all that. And or no, just his girlfriend, and they had some romantic thing set up. So you know, I took a hotel, and for the first time, I had Thanksgiving alone in a hotel. And that day, I ended up winning like $14,000 on a poker tournament, and I just started killing it, making money left and right. And I remember I was crying out in the streets because it's like, man, I have enough money to get my dogs back now, but now it's too late. And I just remember that loss feeling, because it's like, man, when you lose and it's on you and there's nothing else there's no safety net, that shit hurts. And it just kind of fueled something in me. All that hate, all that energy from all that long, I had to expel it. So I ended up losing like 100 pounds in 4 months. I just kind of said fuck it with my life. I just started slashing shit in my life left and right. Like, man, nah, this shit's just not gonna work no more. So I lost all the weight, and then I was struggling with poker as of recently. Like I don't know, just like this darkness. I'd lose every flip deep. I just couldn't do it. I was struggling. I was eating tuna cans. I was doing whatever it took, and I was like, man, I always knew poker was a stepping stone. I had a childhood goal. I had a childhood financial goal. I have stepping stone goals, and this was my first stepping stone goal as a child. And I told myself I would get it by the end of age 30. I told myself that. And even when I was eating fucking tuna cans and I was on a fucking 60K downswing and I had no money, no one fucking believed in me, I still would fucking know that I was going to achieve my goals. I still knew deep down I was going to reach my goal somehow. No one told me no. I mean, you couldn't ask me how. You couldn't ask me how in January 2017 I was going to achieve my childhood goal. You couldn't have told me how, because I wouldn't have been able to give you an answer. But I wouldn't have been any doubt. There would have been zero doubt. There would have been 100% positivity. I was going to get there, because I don't need to ask why. Too many people focus on the why. It's the how. It's the how. It's the lashing out. It's the desperate lashing out in life, saying, you know, I'm not taking this shit no more. I'm not going to live this life no more. I might not be a content creator. I never was a content creator. I didn't know how to write. I didn't know how to pronounce two from two, your from your. You guys know I don't know how to say fucking big words. I'm fucking not, you know, that's not my expertise. Like, I know how to say them, but I can't spell them. Like, I wasn't a natural writer by any means. And I remember when I would try to write, it would, my thoughts would get in the way. It wasn't flow. I couldn't flow. And it would just seem janky, and it seemed like I was talking like a robot, and I could never, you know, and I tried to make videos, and I remember I couldn't talk because my thoughts would get in the way, and it would just seem so rehearsed, and I just couldn't get my natural self out there like I really wanted to. And then just out of nowhere, I just kept trying. And then one day I wrote a weight loss answer on Quora. All this while playing poker, looking at all ways, right? Like I'm still at the bottom of the barrel, but I'm not looking for ways to make money. I'm still trying to put myself out there. I'm still trying to create value. See, that's the thing. I'm not looking for anybody to give me anything. I'm first looking for the ability to give somebody. That's where you start. You start by being able to give something to somebody. You don't start with people giving you shit. It doesn't start that way. You have to give and give and give, and eventually somebody's like, give that fucking man a coin because he's badass, and then eventually it rains on you. But that's how you have to find a way to create value. That's where it starts. I can't stress that enough. You have to become value creators. Everyone fucking listening, you have to create value for everybody in your life somehow. Don't expect anything in return. Create value. So I was desperately trying to create value. And I was realizing I'm not giving out value. I'm giving out shit. That's what I felt like. And that's what a lot of people feel like. They're like, man, you know, the content I give is just not as good as these other guys. I don't know. Like, am I just wasting my time? Is anyone even going to listen? You know? And I remember I had gotten like my first positive comment on thing, and I'm very, man, I don't live or die by comments at all. That's not the thing. But it helps, man. Like when I saw that I had reached out to somebody, I was like, man, this is shit. I was like, I know I can do it 10 times, 1,000 times better than this content. And I already changed one life. And you don't realize that what's shit to you, people don't care, man. People just want to listen to somebody talk. Somebody just wants to listen to somebody's life because sometimes they're just suffering and they just need to hear something from somebody else. I understand that. And it's very shitty when you have to wake up to meditation like without a choice because your life's so numbing. It's so hard. You know, sometimes when you're going through the thick of it, you don't know if you can make it. And those are the toughest times when you just have to meditate and not worry about the future or the past. Because if you're constantly looking at the past, obviously it's going to slow you down like a midget on your back. You know, you just fucking bring around this midget. It's like a midget and you're wearing a turtleneck. So it's like a midget slowly bringing you down. And basically, if you're looking at the future, then you're never going to be thankful for the right now because you're always going to look at what you could have and what you think you should have. And when you're right now in the thick of it, this is when you have to get used to the pain. You have to be thankful for the pain. You have to be thankful to experience growth. You know, when you're a child, you feel those growth pains in your legs. Like that's normal. That's natural. That's pain is a good thing. It really is if you know how to maneuver it right. But you know, learn how to create value because when I had first started, like I said, I didn't know how to write. And it's just out of nowhere, the barrier just broke. I don't know what happened. I found Grammarly and the barrier just broke. And I was just, I went a little crazy with the typing and it stopped my stream. But anyway, you get the point. I was typing. I could type so freaking fast. And it was just like the thoughts just flowed out. And then, you know, I started getting, you know, some of my answers started going viral. And then and what happened? I was teaching people to lose weight. I was teaching people to lose weight for free. I was giving out the best guides. Like I wasn't holding back. I wasn't giving out a guide and saying, okay, well, if you want the rest for $9.99, go to my website. No, I was giving out everything I could possibly give. And you know what? It doesn't matter because people don't know what questions to ask. So no matter what, if you give out all of your stuff, all of your secrets, all of your juice, people are still going to want to hire you because they just want to, because no matter what, no one's getting complacent. You can give them everything that you know and they're still going to want to hire you for your new cutting edge stuff, just to talk to you. And that's what people, you know, it's funny because I had gotten on there and I started writing, and within a couple months, I was already had like my first 10 clients. You know, a guy didn't even know me, sent me $5,000 for weight loss coaching. And that was when I was, you know, when I was scrapping. So that was like a gold mine. I was like, jackpot. And then before I know it, I had like a full scale business. I had to open up a website. I had to do this and that. And I had so many clients and it was just building up. And that's the thing. Like I didn't advertise once. I never once messaged anybody trying to give any kind of fucking deal. Everyone came beating down my door, asking me for coaching, asking me to do this, just because I had given out so much value. It's kind of funny. I guess I'll rewind it past. You know, I'm not the proudest of it, but you know, after high school, I moved out on my own, and you know, I had become a big pot dealer, and I remember when I had first gotten my first. I had worked at one place for 2 weeks, got my paycheck. Bought a QP of some regs, and then I had gotten a front, which I mean somebody loans you and then you pay him back from my brother's friend. My brother was in prison. This is my brother's friend. Within 2 months, I had gotten a loan of $1,000 worth. Within 2 months, I'm new to the game. I'm fresh as a motherfucker. I don't know nobody. Within 2 months, I was fronting to my brother's friend's dude, my brother's friend dealer. I was fronting to that guy. That's how I move. Just how I am. And then I moved too rapidly. I started getting ridiculous. I started selling out the whole town. And then before you know it, the droughts were so bad that I had to actually start looking to grow it. Fuck you, feds. I don't give a fuck. You can't prove nothing. I'm telling a motherfucking story. Anyway, and yeah, man, it just, that's just why. And then it got so big that I had painted myself into a corner, into a life that like a kingpin that I didn't want to be. I walked away from multi-million-dollar industry for poker. I'm not getting into no specifics. That's all you're getting out of it. But I just walked away from that shit. 'Cause I was waking up with these visions that my brother was in prison. I couldn't be in fucking prison too. I couldn't fucking be in prison. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people talk about this shit like I was motherfucking out there, y'all. Yeah, man, if you have a fucking glimpse of what my life was like, fucking Hollywood shit. But fast forwarding to basically all of these weight loss clients, and then I had found crypto, and I just knew it. I knew crypto was it. I knew this was it. I had done all the research. I had become obsessed. I watched every video. I watched everything about every coin. Obsession took over, just like it did with the weight loss. The weight loss obsession took over. No one told me to create my thing. You know what I do? I wake up. I don't eat anything. I work out fasted. Then I have 30 minutes later, after the human growth hormone hose discretes, meaning your human growth hormone peak stops at about 30 to 40 minutes after your workout. You can feel it like a faucet in your body. At least I can, because I'm in tune. Then I have my shake with high carbs, right? Because you don't want to eat anything right after you work out. You want it to be liquid so it can hit your muscles, and not, digestion takes a lot of energy. After that, you want about one big solid food. You do want to have solid food every day because you want your digestive enzymes will fuck off. They'll cease to live if you never use them. It's like use them or lose them. Like I said, I went hardcore. So I have one solid meal a day, two liquid meals a day. That solid meal can be anything the fuck I want. I used to eat cheeseburgers and pizzas, but now that I'm vegan, it's more like beans and rice and stuff. But the only reason I went vegan is because I went hardcore looking at that, and I was like, man, everything causes cancer. And now I gotta get like organic this, organic that, stay away from big red meat. Like, it's fucking crazy. And then, but the point is, I jumped right into crypto, and I knew, like, my childhood self. That's why I said there's no time. It's like my childhood self and me, like, connected, like we high-fived, like I knew it, like. I knew this was it. It's called being prepared for the unpreparable. You can't be, how can you be prepared for crypto when you first get in it the first time? Well, because I had sharpened myself. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to slice through this shit. And, just like with anything I've done in life, I rapidly rose to the ranks, and I hit my fucking childhood dream a lot quicker than I thought I would. And I fucking smashed it. And, and it's all, you have to create content, man. Like what I did with No Limit Coin, if I wasn't able to speak, and if I wasn't able to show people what I saw through YouTube, it wouldn't be what it is right now. Like, you don't understand how much of a snowball effect you can get when you put yourself out there, when you try to create value, when you give, and never ask. You won't see one fucking commenter say, Dan Hensley asked me to buy something, or Dan Hensley tried to get me to sign up for BitConnect. Like, it just sucks. Like, I see a lot of hustlers out there, a lot of people who are good dudes, but they'll send me like BitConnect referral links and my prems, or try to get me signed for this or that. And it's just like, man, that's the wrong way to do it, man. You just got to create value, throw your little link in the description. If they want to fucking use it, they want to use it. Don't ask for shit. Like, you have to create. That's the big thing. Like, I really want I want everyone to become wealthy, because I'm tired of fucking the corporations owning everything. Like, if we could just all become super wealthy. Create value today. Start. If you suck at writing, you suck at recording your voice, whatever, who cares? Just do it. Just create something. Even if it's locally, man, just go fucking do something locally then. Like, it doesn't even, nothing has to be on a big scale. It doesn't all have to be big scale. But, yeah, I just woke up to a lot, man. It's just every day I'm waking up and I'm just seeing what's going on with the United States. I'm seeing what's going on with the world, and man, it's coming. It's a big stock market crash, all of this. So, if you're not prepared, you're out of there. So a good thing to do is these Bitcoins. Yeah, these Bitcoins are nice, man. Like, they're really nice, but they're hard to affect. It's really hard to affect unless you have a really big name. Like if you're box mining, you can maybe help the price of Neo. If you're crypto, you could probably help the price of Bitcoin Cash. But if you're just starting out, or you don't, this isn't what you do. Like, there's so many people getting involved in No Limit Coin, like doing the tailgates, going out. Like, it's just about being ferocious and passionate, and not asking how I'm going to, just stop asking how I'm going to get there. Just, not ask how you're going to get there. Don't ask like what you have to, like what, like stop saying like, what do I need to do to fucking get there? Just start going. The point of asking questions is what's going to slow you down. Get from a reactive point to an active point. Stop reacting, waiting for the information. Sometimes you just have to jump in head first. You're going to get some scrapes and bruises. You're going to look like an ass That's why I put myself out there, man. I fucking cuss a lot. Like I don't try to be something I'm not, because this is who I fucking am. It's just, I don't know how I was raised, I guess. Like, this is just who I am. I'm just brutally honest. And I don't want to put myself and paint myself as a picture of somebody I'm not, and I fuck around and get famous, and now I have to wear this mask because I feel, it's like, nah, man, Danny's a fucking grunchy-ass motherfucker, and, he got famous, he's still a grunchy-ass motherfucker, and that's comfortable for me. It's like, fine. If I don't have 100,000 YouTube followers, then that's fine. Whatever, man. Like, that's not what I'm in it for. I'm just trying to create value for anybody who's like, listen, and more importantly, I'm trying to create value for myself, so... right now, the market's rapidly rising. ICOs, it's just really hard to fuck with ICOs. When you're talking about with District XO, District OX, when you're talking about making, getting it for $1 or a penny and a half, they're in the ICO. OX, all of these, there's just been a lot of really, really good ICOs, like the Funfair ICO. I didn't personally get into Funfair ICO, but I got it basically at ICO price. And then, like, yeah, man, there's a lot of coins out there. Like, it's really hard to go wrong. So what I'm trying to say is, okay, so what I've noticed is a lot of people want to, they want immediate gratification or something. So they want, like, hey, what's a short-term flip? That's very common. What's a short-term flip? So what they're trying to do is, I can understand, because when you put money in something and then you have to just kind of sit around and wait for your next paycheck or wait to make some more money, that's fucking grueling. I understand that. But instead of trying to look for these short-term flips, what you can do is find a coin that you believe in that is undervalued, that doesn't have the biggest community, and go in there and fucking create because that's the one thing no one can account for with a coin. Look, market cap, all of this, right? You can look at all these coins. The one thing you can't see is the community right now. You can't see the community behind these coins on this website, right? So the beautiful thing is the coin might be underpriced, but people don't see you coming. They don't see you and your friends coming, you and your crew. Start building, making friends, becoming teammates, growing. People don't see that coming. No one can see that. Those are the intangibles. And guess what? Those are absolutely the most important. Absolutely the most important. I don't care what anybody else says. The community is absolutely most important. So if you can bring something out of thin air, you've done your research and you like this certain coin or this certain ICO. ICOs are even better because those are the ones that need the most support. And you get in there and you just, hey, start off small, man. You can't just expect the world. You got to start in small, and you're going to work for peanuts, and you're going to work for peanuts for a long time. But if you're not willing to work for peanuts, if you're not willing to be broke, if you're not willing to fucking eat tuna cans, then it's just, you're not going to be wealthy. It's that simple, man. Like, I've been there, man. Trust me. This has been my childhood dream. Like, I expected to be this when I was 22, 25, 27. 29, 18, 15, 11, 8, 5. I expected this my whole life. It's a lot of waiting. It's a lot of eating shit. It's a lot of not getting there. I could have quit. I could have said, okay, I'm not going to make that kind of money. The belief could have wavered. The fire could have went out. I could have had a 9 to 5. I could have thrown my skill set away and given it to somebody else so they can make millions. I could have done that anytime, at any point. I was 30 years old and I was like at the lowest point in my life. I told my girlfriend, you've met me when I had less money than I had in high school. I haven't been this low on money since I was a freshman in high school. That's real talk. That was this year. Belief and a desire. That's all it takes. It's all it takes. It doesn't take much. You're not gonna. If you're measuring money, then yeah, that's what it takes. But I'm talking about just getting out there and being at peace, knowing that you're laying it out on the field. That's all it takes, man. Just show up. Holler at Nikolai, just show up. Holler at Burger Hold, just show up. Holler at Glenfish, show up. Holler at Michael, just show up. Holler at Dan E, just show up. I can say that all video, but I just want to show a little bit of love. Just show up. That's all it takes. And the ICOs that I'm looking at now, obviously, if you haven't checked out ONG, that's a fucking sleeper. Like, I could have went to Nexus. I could have went on Nexus and be like, hey, this is the ICO I want to go promote because it's bigger, right? It's bigger. They have more. But I didn't like them, and I thought ONG was a really grassroots type of deal, kind of like with MyBit. Yeah, MyBit. It was small. Not a lot of people knew about it, but it was something that struck home for me. And I'm not going to let the market dictate my beliefs. So I believe in anything that's decentralized crowdfunding, I'm a huge fan of. That's taking the power out of the George Soros's hands. It's taking the power out of these people who are really causing harm to humanity. It's taking the power out of their hands, putting it into the power of the human hands. And I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Why did everyone miss out on my bit? Because they're probably looking at the money. They're probably looking at the money. And what I saw was what was needed, a needed outlet in this world. And guess what? If I fight enough for it and that needed outlet connects with the need, right? So if the outlet and the need connect, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, right? The money's going to flow. However, if I'm only looking at money and then the need connects, but it's the money and the need, right? That's when you lose it because you're chasing dollar signs. And you lose your passion. You kind of lose your soul when you do that. You really do, because you're just doing shit for the hell of it. Neo's up 21%. Ripple already, like I've been saying, Ripple is going to go up, but I don't care. Like, yeah, Ripple can be mainstream, bring a lot of people into crypto, but it's not my cup of tea. I don't like researching Ripple. I've already, I already looked at it up and down. Binance coin or whatever. Always good because it's like, being able to invest in Bittrex back in the day. It's like I said, it's just so hard to go wrong right now if you're talking about long term. If you're talking about short term, man, I don't know why people are looking for short term plays. Like, just do your research on ICOs. I don't care. Like, that's where it's at. It's the riskiest, but it's the most reward. You're just not going to get those type of gains off of some of these coins. I mean, I'm not going to say it. You can, obviously. Like, we're about to see a huge bull run. You can see stuff like No Limit Coin hit $1 really soon. You can see somebody, even Ethereum could shoot to 600 really soon. I mean, these aren't massive gains, 100% in the crypto world. And another thing, these opportunities aren't going to be here 5 years from now. This is the time right now. All right, so once 5 years from now and we have mainstream adoption, that's when those 100% gains. That's why this isn't normal in the stock market, because the stock market's played out. It's already filled out. And the players who are in play are already in place. What's already happening, it really pisses me off, are the big name, Microsoft, Google. All these people are looking at and scooping up all the ICOs now. Go read. They're scooping up. Oh, dude, there was this badass fucking ICO I wanted to invest in. Microsoft scooped it up. They scooped it up. It's not even going to come. Like, the people can't even invest in it anymore. That's what's scary. That's fucking scary. The people they're already doing what they did with the stock market. The big money's coming in and they're scooping up all the ICOs before they come into the market. And it's happening now. What do you think it's going to be 5 years from now? It's going to be just like the stock market. No one's going to have a shot at Neo. No one's going to have a shot at Lisk or Pillar or any of these things. It's not going to happen. Why would these companies come out and ask for money in a crowdfunding? Because a lot of them are just for the money, right? They're just going to take the big dollar because Microsoft's going to be like, hey, don't do a crowdfund. We'll give you 3x what you wanted. Here you go, fully funded. Just, we own you. Put this little chip in your wrist and be a nice little slave. It's very sad, but right now, this is the time. A lot of people, the government fucked up because the government really doesn't like people to become billionaires. They really don't like them because then they have to try to switch you and try to fucking, manipulate you and all that. Because when you have $1 billion, you can change the world. You can change worlds. And that's why you see things like with Mark Zuckerberg. You see these things where these people get rich. They get really fucking weird and mysterious. And a lot of weird shit happens. And now I read some article where the government agencies are just like literally just rampant, stealing all your shit on your phone, your private messages, all your calls, all that stuff. They want to own all the private messaging. Like, thank God Marino wasn't fucking bought out by, like, it's just like we got a card right here. But you got to think of it, it's like a piece of cloth on fire, and every second it's rapidly burning up, and there's not going to be any left for anyone else in a couple of years. It's going to be poof, gone. You're not going to be able to make these gains. I can 100% guarantee it. You're not going to be able to make these gains. It's not the big guys aren't going to allow it. The big dogs aren't going to allow it. This went under their radar. They weren't expecting this shit. It hit them right below the belt, but now they're starting to buy up all the promising ICOs, all of them. You're going to see it more and more, and you're going to see fewer and fewer really good ICOs come out. And if they do, they're already fucking, so like right now, you're going to still see it for the next year, I bet. It's already starting to happen though. You know, I got into this, thank God, when ICO was like, you know, Zapple and stuff, and you had to wait. I'm still waiting on my motherfucking, like, I got YoYao, but YoYao, you know, I bought that fucking long ass time ago. Like, you know, I came out when there was no instant gratification. When you fucking invested in ICO, you had to wait 3, 4, 5 damn months for anything to happen. And man, now it's like we're rapidly evolving. Basic attention token, a big fuck you, but you know, I love you. But that's really what caught the big guys' eyes when they sold out so fast. That's what made mainstream news, and then the people, then it was just all downhill from there. Now you're going to start to see it, but do your research right now. That's why ICOs are so precious. You got to think of them. They're so fucking precious right now. Like, and I'm not saying just go out and invest. There's a lot of fuck ICOs. There's a lot of scam ICOs. Don't fucking just, you know, do your due diligence, like a lot of diligence. Talk to the CEO on Skype. Get some fucking credentials. Get them to mail you, or not mail you, but like send you a copy, like a photocopy with their name, something like. And if they don't want to do it, then you don't have to invest in it, because guess what? I get that information all the time. It's not a big deal for me to get a certificate. Like with ONG, I told the guy it's a Delaware-based business. Send me the certificate. I want to see it. And you know, his lawyer, got to talk to him like a well-known lawyer on LinkedIn did. Like, things you can't fake. Like, just put into work. Laziness is not an excuse. You can definitely do that. So, just, man, like, people just keep asking, what do I do with my money? Just get it out there. Just fucking study and put it out there, man. Get it in there before it's fucking too late. That's just what I'm doing. Like, I preach my word. You know, I'm 90% in crypto. Yeah, I've diversified, but if I diversify, it's going to be into real estate. I'm not diversifying into dollars. I don't like keeping many dollars because there's just no upside. If you were to tell me what's the upside of the dollar, what's going to save the dollar? Anybody in the comments, what's going to save the dollar in 5 years? What's going to save the dollar? What's going to make it stop bleeding? Nothing. It's not going to stop bleeding. Crypto is just going to keep sucking. This is money. This is value that could be in the dollar stock in the world economy right now, in the U.S. economy. That's not it. And this number keeps getting bigger, and the fiat number keeps getting smaller. Right now, it's not that big of a difference. You know, it's not. We're just a pebble. But you know, when we keep on marching, that's when the big money's going to come in and then try to control shit. So be prepared. Be prepared. This is a different type of mentality when it comes to cryptocurrency investing. This is more urgent. Just really is. I don't know. Maybe it'll ring clear for somebody, and you know, what happened for me can happen for you. But I'm gonna kill it here. Cheers. Peace.